What should you invest in? That's a too big of a question. I'll tell you what you shouldn't invest in. Good afternoon, Team Danlock.
So our first one comes from Peter. He went through HTC and he was able to quit his full-time job and closed 84K in the 1 month.
Wow. All right. Good.
So yeah, I have been watching hundreds of Danlock's videos on YouTube, and I highly appreciate him for the value he has added to my life through his videos. I've also read his book Unlock It. It has enabled me to think differently and allowed me to gain confidence and believe in myself. Danlock's books and videos hold a lot of precious value, and with Danlock's help I was able to eliminate the fear of failure and self-doubt, and because I trust him and have faith in his teachings, I hope Danlock sees his message and if possible reply to it. Gratefully, Purvish. So yeah, great message.
Nice, Liam. Yes. Take a screenshot of this. Liam, take a screenshot, send it to him.
We want to start having our money work for us. When would you recommend for someone to start investing, and what would you recommend to invest in exactly and why, and how would you feel about creating a trading or investment?
Okay, good question. So I would say, and doesn't matter like what you do and what career, it really doesn't matter, right? Because how we make money, there's so many different ways to make money, right? So the first goal, it's earning through our own skills, our own abilities, using our high income skills, is to become an accredited investor. That's the first goal, right? Because until you become an accredited investor, right, you're investing things that most people invest in. Nothing wrong with that. Like you can buy, index fund, and it's good, but you don't get into the more exciting stuff, right? Legally, like all these companies, they can't take money from you. So, which is 200K a year, 2 years straight, right? Or household, like if wife and husband, that's 300K a year, so 150 each. And I think before that, my recommendation is you don't put money into anything else except yourself. Let's talk numbers. What would give you a better return? Let's say even if you put something into, give you 8%, 10%, whatever it might be. If you read a book, if you take a course, if you get coaching, if you get training, whatever it might be, you always make more money, period. No investment would give you that kind of return when you work on your skill, right? And no one can take that away from you. You are in control, right? If you are closing, 1 out of 10, you can now close 2 out of 10 by reading some books, by getting training, by all those, by going into an event. Nothing pays better than that. Once you get there, then you can look into transitioning into investing in something else, right? You do not invest in anything you don't understand, right? If some friends told you about this thing and you saw someone posting online about that thing, if you don't know it, so it's like I'm not against cryptocurrency if you study cryptocurrency, if you study real estate, if you study stocks, right? If you study it, then yeah, because it's a skill on its own. It's not just, it's like Anthony going to, playing games and poker. Like the ones who don't have skills, they just, it's blind luck, right? But the one with skills, they can read people, they can there's certain psychology and strategies goes behind it, right? So you only invest in something you understand. And also it has to do with how much capital you have. I mean, if you're doing $200,000 a year, buying real estate might be tough. Depends on the country, depends on, in Vancouver, you can buy a washroom. You can't, it's not that exciting, right? And chances are it's not going to produce any cash flow. I think at the very minimum, when you put aside some money, for most, a basic plan, this is not sexy, but it works, right? And I did this, I started when I was in my 20s, is you put some money aside, $500, $1,000, put it aside, put it in the index fund, let's say S&P 500, you don't touch it, you don't think about it, it's just every month, you just do that. That's a very, very basic, right? If you put aside $500, $1,000 a month, you do it for 30, 40 years, guaranteed by the end of that, right, you're gonna have $1 million or more if you don't touch it. And that requires no skills. And that it doesn't also sacrifice any of the lifestyle, right? you're making a few $100,000, you know, put aside $1,000 a month, that's 12,000 a year, that's nothing, right? And you don't need to, and that you don't need to study. That you can just pick an index fund that's like low cost, low fee, boom, and then you don't, anything above that, then you need to study. But everybody should have a plan, because it's like when all things fail, this thing by the time when you're old, 30, 40 years, when you retire, you got something. And for some, if you cannot do $1,000, start with $250. You don't even think about it. That's the basic richest man in Babylon, that you pay yourself the 10% kind of concept. But a big thing is it changes the way you look at money, because you know most people have nothing, right? But by having the discipline of putting aside, it builds a lot of confidence, and it's very good programming. It's very good programming, because you know I'm not a trader, I'm not a professional investor, but hey, I'm putting aside a few $100 for the future, for my family, knowing that majority of the population have nothing, right? So it's psychologically, it's also very good for you. And it requires no effort, no time, nothing. Anybody can do. Maybe you're stuck right now in your business and it's not your fault. Chances are that I have been there and I have overcome those challenges that are preventing you from going to that next level. Let me give you the roadmap so you finally have the clarity that you need to grow your business. I'll give you the exact steps and systems that you need to move quickly. This is not for beginners, this is for serious business owners who want to level up. Follow the link to find out more about my 5-day SMART challenge.